Okay, you're bidding for a building, let's say, right? You're bidding for a building. In terms of that bid, what are the different thoughts? On the one hand, your success, you're desiring to understand and to get the value of the building. What else is going through your head? What else are the factors going through your head?
You don't want to lose the abortive.
You don't want to lose
The
abortive costs? Absolutely, right? Because you've invested in it already. What else?
You don't want to overpay.
Overpay, because the value is less than I end up paying for it, like in the £20 and 1 pence, which was a ridiculous bid. Just to make you feel better. However, by the way, in this example, it's been £300. A game can go either way. Either, normally in America, it goes £300 or £400, because the desire to win is encroaching anyway. But after that bid, involved in that decision making, if I eventually am not just a computer that lives on the risk analysis of this, what I'm getting to in terms of my fear is some level of attachment, some level of ego, which is greater than my desire for success. Now let's explain this. A person who has a fear, a person who is thinking of taking a risk in business, the degree as to how much that fear will impact your bid or your decision making or your inaction, or your need, if you've worked in the city, these traders are addicts. They are gambling addicts. If they're not actually bidding or buying or selling, they're gambling between themselves. They're either on the sports pages gambling, they're in the teams gambling, they're playing, all 24/7 is just about, they're addicts of gambling. Whatever that fear of loss or failure brings out in us, whether it's an addiction of gambling, whether it's fear of loss, whether it's overbidding, there is underneath that fear an attachment to something which is more real than the fear. In terms of failure, my failure creates inaction. That inaction creates a sense of loss. Why? Because my failure is saying that if I lose this building, or I wrongly bid for the building, the pain or the business loss associated to this bid right now is very great. That is a pain which I feel now, even though it's a potential for tomorrow. I feel it right now. And therefore, that pain is not something I enjoy, and therefore, because I'm quite happy where I am, maybe I won't bid so much, or maybe my decision-making in that bidding will be tainted. The fear of loss, the fear of failure, and my attachment to the stance where I am right now is greater than my desire for success, because the fear can overwhelm me. In life, most of us think that we are ambitious 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. We all think we're so ambitious. Kidding ourselves. What really is our fear matrix is not this. It's not to lie to ourselves that we're ambitious 90. Because if we were, we'd be working 25 hours a day and we wouldn't even have fears. We'd be aware of our fears. We'd be constantly pushing against every level of fear. But what is it I'm attached to if my fear of failure or fear of loss dominates me? What am I attached to?
Fear.
I'm attached to my fear, but even underneath the fear, I'm attached to my comfort right now. My desire to be comfortable right now is far more important to me than that success which I claim and advertise that I want. I'll walk around saying I'm hugely ambitious, I'm highly ambitious, it feels good to be ambitious, I'm going to give you marks of 90, 96, 100, 110, 120. It's not true. Or at least we need to ask the question, is it true? Most often, our attachment to my comfort right now is what's real. That's the $50 handbag. That's what's real. Most of us are living the life of the Louis Vuitton, advertising thousands of dollars. and never quite getting there, and feeling and living in the frustration of that lack, of that loss, and being even upset in my success and in that growth. Why? Because I'm not real with myself. To get real with myself is to understand what is the nature of each of these steps. What is the nature of these steps? If I'm kidding myself and I'm cold stone in business, the nature of fear is first of all to feel what is that fear? Where is my personal fear? Where is that fear of loss? Where is that fear of failure? Where do my fears impact me, which is not obvious? It is not obvious. It's something which comes with work. This isn't an hour where you'll just walk away fearless. It is opening the door to spiritual work where that spiritual value will enhance life, will enhance business, makes you better performing as a person. Where is that fear? And there are so many. The level to understand that is to understand the excuses and the escape that fear promotes. I'll have every good reason not to act. Well, you know, I could have been successful. It wasn't the right deal. It's the wrong time. Possibly true as well. But our question is, in that truthful market analysis, where does your ego sit within that choice? It is not enough to say genuinely, it was just a bad bid. It was just a not good deal. It might be a no good deal, in which case, escape, absolutely. But unless I'm willing and able and talented and powerful, strong enough to look at my own ego, my own fear in my decision making, I would have for sure got the deal wrong. Either I've missed a great deal, or I'm just going to attract another bad deal, which perhaps next time I haven't got the merit to see. For sure, clear as day, my ego is involved in everything I do in every part of my life. The question is, can I see it? Most of all, it'll hide. It'll hide behind the excuses which other people hear. Most of us escape with the idea of I'm ambitious, 90, 100, 2,000, 1,000, 1 million. Bless you. It's an excuse. It's an excuse which, on the other hand, hides some attachment to my comfort, to my stability. I don't want to give up that. I'm attached to something right now which I'm not prepared to give up, and that is greater than my desire for success. I can advertise Louis Vuitton £5,000. The success I desire, the ambitions I have, I need to check myself. That's the real matrix. Is that ambition factor which I give myself true to the attachment factor which unquestionably I have also? And that whole process is the whole idea of just getting real. Risk and reward is about getting real. Getting real doesn't mean looking at every single business factor. It means looking at the spiritual factors in my decision making. If I'm in the right place spiritually, I can have the wrong criteria and make a business come good. If I'm in the wrong place spiritually, I can have the right criteria and muck up a great opportunity. What is the real risk analysis, therefore? It is not the finding, the establishing, the assessing, and the reducing. It is the fear, the excuses and escape, the attachments, and the real, the getting real. That is the real nature of risk spiritually.